Hey, it's your favorite scribe, Jade, and I'm back for spring break. And hopefully, everything after this, or every day after this, this is gonna be just a very free form, whatever's on my mind kind of thing, because I'm just trying to get back into, you know, actually making videos. In fact, I want to be more consistent and put out things a lot more often than I normally did before. So, yeah, this is just me getting used to talking again. But, it's not going to be necessarily about anime today, just because I want to have some time to just talk about, like, just general stuff that's been going on and getting back into the groove of things. So yeah, if you've got anything to actually do, anything actually productive to do, now is a good time to just pop in those headphones and just stick your fucking phone in your pocket or whatever, or just have it playing in the background, just whatever. And I don't know how long this is gonna be, but here we go. So this entire fucking semester, so from early January, has been like one hell of a year, just getting back into doing like school shit. I haven't had any time to like actually make videos, or rather I just haven't been as motivated on top of like the work, because on top of doing like schoolwork and shit, I've also got to go and work on videos. And particularly, there's one I had in the works for like quite a while now. It's been well over a month now that I should have actually just had it done, but I didn't do it because I wasn't motivated. And it was one where I was reading a doujin with two other people, and I do plan on finishing it, so you'll know who they are when I actually do post it. But yeah, two other people, and it's these Tosaka Rin, this character from Fate, Tosaka Rin doujins, and we're just like reading it and reveling in how goofy some of it is, and also just how great the art is. Like, for whatever reason, like, artists that draw doujins and hentai or whatever, for some reason there's some of them that are extremely amazing at it. They're amazing artists, and then they take their art and they use it like to draw like smut. And that was something I found definitely amusing, and we're just all having like just a laugh and shit doing it. But the actual process of editing it so that it can go on YouTube is a real pain in the ass, because it's not necessarily like heavy duty editing. It's more just like monotonous. It's not like high skill or anything. It's just kind of like it's just very tedious. I have to go in and just find, okay, here's these problem areas, covering them up with this, and then go on to the next one, do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, and that can get very like draining. It's not as interesting as figuring out some unique way of representing a particular point you had in a video. And I'm not even that great of an editor, so so to begin with, it's already kind of it's already has some level of tedium, because I'm not I don't have a ton of different skills I can like bring to the table to present my ideas in a very cool and interesting way, like some other people can. Now, that aside, I just haven't, because I felt like, oh, I had to get this video done. I had to do that one. I had to like put it out before I worked on anything else. And that was very like restrictive for me, because I'm very scatterbrained. I tend to just come up with something, oh, I want to do this now, right? And then I lose interest in my current project. It's very problematic. but at the same time, I guess that's just my brain's way of keeping things interesting for me. But the one thing though that does make me want to finish it is that there are some like really funny moments in that video, and also that I feel bad about not posting it because me and the two other people who were in it, right? These two other internet buddies I have, right? I said I would do it, right? And I think that's like the first time either of them would ever have shown up on my channel. So that would have been an interesting thing, and I feel like I just kind of blowed them off. When they came to that, I flaked on them. So I will get it up because of that, but I'll also be doing a lot of other stuff just to keep myself entertained in that way. Other than that, school's been a very draining but also rewarding in some ways experience. I've learned a ton of stuff, but at the same time been stressed out by a lot of stuff, particularly programming, because that's what I plan on doing as a major, actually learning how to program and shit, because I want to take that skill and do a bunch of other cool shit with it. But yeah, that's the XYZs of it. So again, this semester has been wild. Probably one of the biggest things, obviously, being the emergence of the coronavirus. And, to commemorate this talk, I'm also drinking Corona beer, Corona Premier, at this very moment. Which is funny because apparently they're losing sales because their brand has the same name as the coronavirus. So people are just avoiding it like the plague. Which is hilarious. Poor Corona. But yeah, the coronavirus showed up. I was super fucking pissed off. I was like, God damn it. Because like literally a week or just a few days before the coronavirus showed up, obviously we had the big like Iran scare where everybody was like, holy shit, is World War III gonna break out? Are we gonna have to like get drafted or some crap? And everybody on the internet's like flipping out and crap and creating panic, as the internet does, and as it's doing right now with the coronavirus, creating panic all over the place. People fucking running for the hills. Oh, we're all gonna die or whatever. And then like it just fucking blows over. Nothing happens. In fact, what actually happened is the Iranian government found, or rather the Iranian people found out that their government had been up to some fuck shit. And whatever. So now it turned into more of a domestic issue within Iran, and then we're just kind of like chilling over here. And then like the coronavirus breaks out in fucking China and starts spreading. The thing that scared the shit out of me the most was that before all that happened, right? Or rather in the middle of the very early stages of it, right? I had ordered a particular piece of equipment because I was trying to like put together a very basic computer at the time, right? And it was a connector for these fans, right? And I was hoping, okay, it's probably gonna come from America. And then I found out, oh, that's the only one that's coming from China. I was like, shit, it's coming from it's coming from that coronavirus infested place. Oh no, right? I'm like kind of freaked out, but at the same time I'm like, okay, they said it's kind of like SARS, so it cannot survive very long on like surfaces, so I should be fine, it should be fine or whatever. So I'm just checking up on it, and it's like because I bought it from eBay, right? They show you like, okay, where it is at the moment. And one of the areas it stopped at was Chinaport. I look up Chinaport. They're like, oh, China coronavirus hits Chinaport. Holy shit. Are we all gonna die? Pandemic time, bro. You know, crap like that. You're like, oh, I'm having vivid imaginatory like hallucinations about, you know, wearing a mask and fucking gloves and a freaking hazmat, like basically getting into a freaking hazmat suit and crap to like pick up my fucking package because I don't want to get sick. And yeah, all I did was basically, when it did show up, I grabbed it, you know, kind of made sure not to touch my face or anything, and wiped the box and the thing within it. It's just everything down with like hydrogen peroxide and like rubbing alcohol and crap, so that, you know, it wouldn't infect me. Hopefully that worked. Hopefully that worked. Well, it seemed to have worked since it's been like weeks now, and I'm feeling fit as a fiddle. The only thing that had happened to me were like weird physical issues I've been having, but that aren't like related to the coronavirus at all. Like, for one thing, one of my fingers at the time actually got like infected. That was like a pain in the ass. It was painful, and I actually figured out, okay, what the issue was. There was something lodged in there. I know, too much information, but this is about like, oh, what's Jade been up to? And, you know, that's, you know, a part of what I've been up to. Yeah, other than that, there's just been weird like muscle issues and pains and crap like that. And it's like, reminds me that I'm fucking getting old. I am becoming, you know, old man. Soon enough I'll be like that old dude from SpongeBob, the one's like, I love the young people. It's like, oh, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man? You know, I'll be on that shit. Yeah. Probably the most I've dealt with anime of recent is just been like watching some random shows here and there, like Wotaku, which is a really cute show, very cute, with, you know, about like relationships between otaku, and it brings up a lot of like very good points and interesting, you know, aspects of like relationships between like otaku and normal people, and, you know, I know normal people, right? And otaku and other otaku, you know, stuff like that. And, you know, Fire Force, I've been watching some of that recently because I completely fucking like ignored it when it was, you know, actually coming out. And I was like, oh, you know, it's by the guy that, you know, did Soul Eater. I was in the Soul Eater back in the day, you know, I'll try it out. And when that shit came out, everybody's like, oh no, the main character's such a fucking pervert. He's groping up this one girl who's like in a bikini in broad daylight for some reason, even though she's not at the beach. You know, her work uniform involves wearing swimwear for some reason. Yeah, and he's just groping her up or whatever, right? That's apparently what, you know, I heard at the time. You know, I actually watch it now, and like, oh, it's not all that. I thought it was just gonna be this guy saying weird shit. But granted, he does say some like weird ass fucking shit. But I find it more funny than anything else. Like, you know, it really depends on like your interpretation. Like, I know Nick, if you're familiar with this channel, Meta Nick, like I told him about one scene where the main dude says something along the lines of, "Is this the smell of a damp woman?" Which is really fucking weird. But I fucking laughed it off because it's just so ridiculous. Nick's like, who fucking says that? You know, and I was like, yeah, who does fucking say that? But I think it's more funny than anything else. It really depends on how you want to look at it. Um, yeah. And yeah, the major thing I did with anime, other than watch it and avoid making videos like I should as a good noodle, was I did a presentation for my speech class on it, because I want to brush up on those speaking skills, man. I want to get good at talking to the people. So I did that. I wanted to face my fears, which is another topic though I'll get into later. And recently we were doing a speech for like, okay, whatever culture or like group you're a part of, and this includes like subcultures. So I decided, okay, I'll do a speech on like degenerate weebs and anime stuff. And yeah, it went pretty freaking well. Their laughter about all the weird shit seemed to have worked out exceptionally good. The main thing, or the main reason, really, it just kind of goes to show that even though I'm not making videos, I still like talking shit about anime and saying shit and whatever. And talking about good stuff and doing whatever. Even though this presentation was mainly more about anime fans rather than like anime as a whole, it did kind of like make me go, oh, this is I already talk about this shit. Why not just keep on going on? Keep on talking about this right now, since the reason why I got into the speech class in the first place was to help my my speaking abilities, if that's a word. Another thing it did for me was it helped me hone in on certain aspects of, insecurities and just some aspects of things that I fear doing, right? A big thing that's I feel like has been holding me back in certain areas of life is just the fear of doing things. It's the fear of asking for things, just fear in general, fear of, being ridiculed, rejected, fear of, things not working out exactly like what I want. Things not working out exactly the way I want them to work out and stuff like that. And the big thing is that's just life. Sometimes things don't always work out exactly the way you want them to work out. Sometimes shit's just fucked, and you have to just move on, keep on going, and not let that fucking slow you down. Half the time, though, not even like half the time, a good like 80% of the time, shit just works out. Like you're just worrying for fucking nothing. And your brain is just making up all these weird, fucked up, dumb scenarios in which things don't work out. And everybody just, treats you like you're a piece of shit and just goes in on you because, apparently, that is the scenario your brain wants to like paint for you. But that's not real, right? That's just fear. Fear is just a projected idea of negative things that have yet to happen, things that do not exist. Fear is all about, stuff that is not real and, possibilities your brain is generating for you. Now, as creatures in the wild, human beings need this instinct, right? Or it's served us well, as it's helped us survive for like a long time, because we don't do stupid shit because we think, if I do that, I'll probably fucking die, right? Or what if this happens, right? It helps us fucking survive. But the negatives of it are that in our modern world, when there really isn't as many things to be fucking afraid of, we become fucking chicken shit. It holds us back from doing the things we want to do because we're afraid of outcome. And, this brings me to another class I was taking, which is my religion class. World religions, because I thought it would be interesting. I need the credit. um, the world one of the religions we studied, right off the bat was Hinduism. And Hinduism is dope as fuck. One of the coolest concepts in Hinduism is the concept of dharma. And dharma has to do with duty, right? Your divine duty, or what you're supposed to be doing in the world. And one of the aspects of dharma that really stuck out to me was a story revolving around it called the Bhagavad Gita, I believe. It means like the Song of the Lord, which is, which rather is like a smaller part of a bigger story about a Vishnu avatar called Krishna. Vishnu being one of the major Hindu gods, and an avatar is like an incarnation of him, right? So Krishna is like disguised as this charioteer, and he's helping this warrior guy called Arjuna, this fucking like badass warrior dude, decide on what to do. The scenario in question is basically Arjuna is basically caught in between his family, right? He's related to two different noble or royal houses, right? And these two houses are basically like out to fucking kill each other, right? They're revving up their armies. They're about to like fucking charge at each other, all like, Braveheart style and crap. And Arjuna is caught in the middle. And one of his families, the one that he is the head of, right? They want him to like basically lead them, right? And he's like, he doesn't want to do shit, so he's just kind of chilling, right? And Arjuna is basically trying to convince him, but your dharma is to your dharma is to be the leader of your house, your kingdom, that kind of thing, right? So even if you don't want to do it, you should, because it's your duty, right? And you should not expect, the whole point of the story is basically you shouldn't expect like good things out of doing what you should do, right? If it's something that you're supposed to do, you shouldn't necessarily feel like every time you do something, like there should be a positive outcome to it. You should do it because that is what you are supposed to do. That is the direction you were supposed to, be going in. Yeah, like, and Arjuna also, not Arjuna, fucking, I'm getting the story messed up, but Krishna also argues that it doesn't even fucking matter that you kill them, right? Because their bodies are an illusion. A big part of Hinduism is the idea that the physical realm as we know it, this is all just fucking bullshit. This is all just illusion. It doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, and it's a distraction to achieving, enlightenment, right? The thing that we're actually supposed to want to achieve, right? Achieving moksha. Right, and being caught up in the sensualities of the physical world will only take you away from that. Bro, Asian religions are so heady, weirdly mystical and shit. It's amazing. It's so great. Look into Hinduism. It's so interesting. But yeah, basically saying it doesn't matter that you kill them because they're gonna be reincarnated. Their bodies are bullshit. It doesn't matter, right? So just do your duty because that's what you're supposed to do. And yeah, and I think that in a lot of ways is the case for just nerves and anything that you are anxious about. Fear in general is that you shouldn't let fear stop you from doing the shit that you have to do. And you shouldn't expect that everything you do with good intention will yield good reward, right? Because that's how you get fucking stuck. That's how you get stuck with inaction. Because you are afraid of the negative the possibilities of negative outcome, but those possibilities are always there. You just have to focus on what this you gotta do. What's the thing you gots to do? Yeah. But yeah. And I've been expressing this in things in just everyday things, like just not, just not getting caught up in bullshit and just, going forward and just trying out things. Like recently I started playing, Final Fantasy 14. That's a whole other thing. That's a whole other can of worms, which I will get into shortly. But, a big thing that's kept me away from games like this has been the fear of social interaction, right? Having to work in a team with other people, and the fear that I will fuck up and that everybody will fucking hate me and shit, right? And, on further review and just thinking about it out of context, you immediately go, oh, why should I fucking give a shit about what some random people who I don't know think, right? We'll be together in a party for like however long this particular thing lasts, and then I'll probably never fucking see these guys again because there's like millions of people playing this fucking game, right? But like in the moment, you're not thinking about that. Your heart rate increases and you're like bereft with like thoughts and moments where you fucked up and you think, oh, I'm gonna fuck up and blah blah blah, right? And you feel like it's like when you do, it's gonna be the end of the world. But chances are when you do get into the zone, when you do actually do the thing, you'll find that like it really isn't a big deal, right? It happens. You're there in the battle doing your thing, and then it ends and it's over and you don't have to think about it anymore, right? And then you feel silly for worrying that like things would be, like things would just blow up in your face. And granted, there have been some like quests where I've done, badly in like these MMO settings with like people, but I'm starting to learn how not to let that like bother me to the extent that it did when I did start, the fucking game. Now here's a quick tip from Jade about, how to, I guess, how I cope. It's just my coping mechanism for anxiety and stuff, right? Is when I feel anxious and when I feel like anxiety creeping in, I remind myself this is normal, right? This is just something that happens. This is just your body and your brain reacting to the possibility of, failure, right? And, this is always just gonna be there, and you shouldn't let it like stop you. Just because you feel that way, that doesn't mean, oh, I should stop. No, it's normal. It's just, that's just how it is, right? It's just a part of life. And, that and just controlling my breathing. Because one of the things we all do is we start hyperventilating, and that increases your sense of terror because you're like, oh shit. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking like, I'm gonna die. What do I do? It's like this vicious feedback loop. But when you stop that, when you slow down, you breathe in, you slow your breath, you take control, and you say, this is normal. This is not something I should be. I should not be afraid of being afraid, because that's really what that is, right? It's you feel a level of anxiousness, and then you get anxious or afraid of feeling that level of anxiousness. So you have to take control. You have to challenge that feeling and go, this is normal. This is all right. But yeah, FF14, that's another reason why I haven't been making videos, because I've been so sucked into that shit, right? Because MMOs are quite addicting, and, I've been slowing down recently. So I've only been playing for like 2 weeks or something, right? But I've already started to slow down. I haven't let it I haven't let it like consume me completely or anything like that. I've managed to stop myself when I need to do shit that's important. I've, I'm slowing down a lot now. The fact that I stopped, like, oh yeah, let's watch anime and make a video on spring break. I shouldn't be like, I shouldn't spend the entire spring break doing nothing but playing FF14 and shit. I should, do other things. But aside from that, it's a really fun game. It's a really interesting experience. Again, I've like I said earlier, this is my first really big foray into, MMORPGs because of, fear of interacting with people. And overall, like, it's just been a heap of fun. And the craziest thing I've heard, obviously, is I'm in the early stages of the game, so it's, a realm reborn, right? And a lot of people have said that this is actually the worst part of the game, even though, there's a lot of fun shit to do. So that's crazy to imagine that the sky is the limit. It only gets better from here, which is, great. That's how a fucking game should be. It's like it should consistently get better and improve as, time goes along. And yeah, having to work together in a group with, random strangers has also been very enlightening in a lot of ways. Some people don't even fucking talk to you, right? Because you assume that, like, every random mistake you make, somebody's gonna be like, stop, you're a fucking piece of shit human being. How dare you fuck up? But like most people are just like, yeah, whatever. They're just like chilling on their own. They don't say anything to you. They're just there. They play. They're like playing the game. And then, after you're done, they just like piss off, Nothing like extreme or anything. They just like leave, And it's not a big deal. And the other kind is like the people who are just there, like who are there that genuinely want to help you. They're like, oh, you new guy, do this, do that, and whatever, right? It's like, after you're done, they like clap and go, yeah, we did it, all that shit. I haven't had like a really bad experience, except for this one dungeon where like people went like AFK, which means away from the keyboard. They just did not, like, we started up the dungeon and they just were not there. They just did not do anything. So like I had my entire fucking party replaced except for me. And the dungeon itself was also kind of a pain in the ass to do. There was like poison everywhere and shit. The layout was like fucking confusing and like, weird and crap. I was just glad I got through that shit. But yeah. I might make another video just going into more detail on this kind of shit, but still, it's an anime channel. I don't want to dilute my channel down as much as I did back in the past with like random bullshit. I want to make this more focused again on anime and the stuff that's I'm supposed to be talking about. Yeah, this video, I can already tell from like the way I'm like speaking, because again, I had no fucking practice. I'm just going off the top of my head. It's gonna be something. It's gonna have a lot of like just moments in it where it's like, oh, messing up, but that's okay, right? In life, we're always so fucking afraid of like trying and doing things and like making mistakes and have basically actually living life. I personally believe now that like living life is just all about making fucking mistakes. It's all about like doing things that you think that are scary, you think you're afraid of doing, and then you overcome them. You overcome those fears, you overcome those anxieties. Anything else I want to talk about before I leave? And then we can actually get back to our regularly, well, not unregularly scheduled, video making process. I might as well just talk about like where I want to take the channel, as I do in like every like 10th video or every like 5th video I make. I always go, I want to take this channel in a new direction, blah blah blah. But this time it's not really a new direction. It's just the way I want to make videos. Just talking about the making process of videos. I want to do a lot shorter and just like quicker videos that focus more heavily on like storytelling and entertainment, because I feel like I don't do that well enough. That's something that I want to improve on, and I'd also like people's feedback on that. That's if anybody even fucking decides to watch this video, because again, it's going to be long and it's just all over the place with just a bunch of random bullshit. The only people who are going to want to watch this video are people who are, fans of mine for whatever reason. I don't even think I have fans. Rather, I have subscribers, but like, I don't know if they would call themselves my fans. If you really are a fan of mine, comment below. I want to see if, I'm wrong, and that like, if I actually do have fans, as fucking weird and whack as that sounds. Yeah. Ho ho ho. I'm probably gonna like upload, do a little bit of snipping here and there, and then uploading it with a cool little photoshopped image at the end, which I shall do soon enough, for this video. Because again, the whole point of this, just get the topic out, talk about like what I've been up to and just random shit, and just be on my way. But yeah, enough talking. I came up with another thing to talk about. So another thing, this also has to do with the coronavirus, going back to that. Another thing that, I've noticed again was the mass hysteria surrounding it as like hit pretty hard. And just all the random misinformation and just random people saying random shit about like the virus and what it may or may not do, whether it's, whether it is as how it spreads, how you would clean your hands, shit like that. Like somewhere on Twitter, obviously horrible place to get your fucking information, right? But one thing that freaked me out was on Twitter, I saw this one guy saying some crap about how the coronavirus can like destroy your freaking fertility. And I tried looking on, Google to see, okay, is this like verifiably accurate, or is there information on this? Nothing. Fucking radio silence, right? So I'm like, oh, is this person just fucking full of shit? I don't know, right? Random people are saying random things. Like, you have people going on about, oh, should you use hand sanitizer or antibacterial stuff, or should you just wash your hands, right? And there people go back and forth on that. I personally trust more the idea that, oh, just wash your hands, because antibacterial stuff is for bacteria and yada yada yada, right? And not for viruses. Yeah. My mom personally has she's especially like just kind of gotten really into like, the fear surrounding it. I often think that, oh, that's probably where I get my like more panicky side from, is like my mom, because I feel like my dad's like really chill, and my mom is especially way more prone to like panicking and stuff, and just having moments of just not being able to chill. Like in this case, like I sort of get it. Yeah, better prepared than like, sorry. But I also feel like frequency in which she like talks about it is also pretty like wild. It's like just slow your roll, you know, just we get our, you know, supplies and our stuff ready for like if it does like get really bad over here, which some people have said, oh, it will get. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're not fucking psychic. You don't fucking know how bad it'll get. You don't know the future. Just like wait for, I wouldn't say wait, just prepare, calm your fucking ass, and just, you know, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I am chill. I think this is probably a good place to just cut it off because I'm running out of things to just generally talk about. But yeah, I do want to come at you soon enough with another video, mainly about like anime. This time I want to keep the channel straight with anime. If you did take the time to actually listen to this and listen to me babble on endlessly about random stuff without any like real editing to make it sound more, you know, more like how I usually do it, then I salute you. I really, really, really appreciate it, especially if you're, you know, you're coming and you're watching this video weeks after my last one, right? After I went like again after I went AFK. and and you know, I haven't been around and shit. Like coming back, so especially with the YouTube algorithm, it's so hard. Like if you leave for a while and you haven't been making videos, like the YouTube algorithm just decides, okay, fuck you, right? And you are punished for it, which I think is fucking ridiculous. If you make a video, you should be put on the same fucking playing field as just anybody else, as everybody else who makes a video. There shouldn't be like this whole artificial burying system where like every time or based on how often you upload, they basically like shoot you in the goddamn leg and they don't let your followers see your fucking videos. I don't understand what the fuck is going on at YouTube HQ, but you know, that's the story of, you know, making YouTube videos, right? This is just I chose this fate. But yeah, thanks for watching and I will see you hopefully soon. Later.